It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Man, what an exciting week this was. You know, earlier this week, I announced our latest TESRA, the Innovation Channel collaborator, and that collaborator was Clover Imaging Group. Did an interview with Jim Srikleski, their chairman. Man, Jim is unleashed, and he's ready to take Clover to a whole nother level. And I got to tell you something, my friends. It's super exciting. It's super exciting when you see companies coming together to do things that are a little bit different, a little bit out of the box, that are bold and aggressive. And we're going to see a whole lot of that coming out of Clover and TESRA, the Innovation Channel's other collaborators. You know, speaking of other collaborators, yesterday I talked with Wes McCarter, getting ready to go down to Australia. Wanted to get some facts around that A4 supply cost. I don't know if y'all saw that video, but it's out there. Go watch it. But I got to tell you, man, I am so excited. I am so excited to go down there to Australia. But before I get to Australia, I got to do that quick update because we had another development in the HP Xerox saga. So you know what happened was, well, HP decided, well, let's respond to the Xerox letter saying that they were going to, nominate 11 board members. And they were telling their board and their stockholders, don't worry, we don't need, Xerox to come in here and buy us because they're not paying enough money for us. But they still don't really describe how much money they should be paying for them. What's the number, HP? Tell us the number. But anyway, they keep saying things like, well, our 3D printing is going to really, help us grow the business. It's on the future pike. I got to tell you something, my friends. If I was a shareholder in HP or sat on the board of HP, I would simply call some of the shareholders and board members of 3D Systems and ask them what happened to their stock. You know, back in 2013-14, I think that was like a $90 a share stock. Today it's like less than 10. Didn't really hit a home run there. And, let's ask ourselves this question in the imaging channel. Do we really believe that 3D printing, a manufacturing product, is something that the imaging channel is going to be able to deliver? Hell, we're still struggling, some of us, with MPS. I mean, we're still struggling with trying to diversify into IT services, but we're going to sell manufacturing equipment. Folks, I got to tell you something. It hasn't worked for the last 15 years in the imaging channel because it just doesn't fit that process. And if we try to sell 3D printing like we're selling printers, it'll never work. We should have called it 3D manufacturing devices, and then we maybe would have stayed out of the print channel. Or at least if the print channel picked it up, they would have sold it like a manufacturing device. So HP, I'm not too sure that 3D thing is going to be that big of a deal for you when it comes right out in the wash. And I still believe that Xerox is on the right path. They're being bold and aggressive, and sooner or later, they'll get that HP deal done. But folks, Australia, man, I had to do there I am. I'll be up in one of these hotels here. But what a beautiful city. I cannot wait to go and talk with my friends at Lexmark at the ANZ, having that big meeting. I'm going to talk at that meeting. But folks, I had to do a little reconnaissance before I decided to head out to Australia. And so I did this, and this is what I see, this huge crowd. And some people will say, well, this crowd is gathered for the Australia Open in Melbourne. Well, I don't think that's what's going on here. What's going on here is these people, they all found out they were being overspecced and oversold. They started a revolution, and they're going to find out when I get down there next week that the A4 Lexmark is the answer to being overspecced and oversold. So hopefully we can calm down that crowd. We can keep that revolution from getting too crazy and out of hand. We'll solve those people's problems. But my friends, I got to tell you, stay tuned next week. You'll be seeing some videos from the Down Under. And I'm super excited to go to Australia. And I'm going to end this like I always do. Status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo, and I'll see you all next week.